Just don't let this man get you down. And hold on tight, and you will last. Keep your self-respect, you're very bright. Get yourself in gear, keep your stride. Oh, just wait and see, someday we'll all be free. Oh, just wait and see, someday we'll all be free.
I think what's happening in Memphis now is an emergence of so many more aspects of Memphis, so many more faces of Memphis, so many more levels of engagement, so many more ways to get engaged. And I think there's a generation of leaders, of citizens who are committing themselves to transform the city, to not be okay with the status quo.
And so being able to find your talents, look at the lack that you see in the city and to see the things, instead of complaining about what you don't see, how can you take your talents and your resources and your know-how and add to the things that you don't, or create them to do that? And I think that's the perfect example of being a citizen, and just citizenship period, is taking those talents and just figuring out a way, like, how can I maximize them? How can I help the most people?
Change begins with you, but you cannot do this alone. But at the end of the day, you're trying to impact individuals. And I think that's something that we're missing nowadays. Sometimes people become part of a statistic, but I think it begins with one and ends with one. But in the process, you have to involve a ton of people, working with policymakers, with decision makers, at any level. And when I say decision makers, it could be the restaurant owner or the state legislator or the congressman or whomever. It's an individual, it's a community, it's all of us, is really trying to explain to people that what happens to a sector of the community impacts the entire community.
So as children, as young adults, even as seniors, how are we pushing the legacy forward? What's our mark in the neighborhood? And it's nothing that's glossy and shiny, but every day, how can I wake up and leave something better than I found it?
My message to many people lately has been, you don't have to get 500 people in a park to create change. Everyone who is moved from whatever they hear me or anyone else say, make that change in yourself, push to make that change in your community. Start small.
One way that I approach not only what I do in communities, but also I'm refocusing my efforts in my studio is how do I become a collaborator, right? How do you engage with communities authentically? And how do you help to protect their space and become an ally, as opposed to dropping a project in their space and then expecting them to kind of latch on?
But I think one thing we mess up is where we leave. If you come back, you know the problems, you know the people, they trust you, they believe in you, they've seen you go out and conquer the world and come back. And now you can be a leader in that neighborhood. People will follow you if you lead. Only thing you gotta do is really choose to lead with your whole heart. And they see that and sense that. That's where they need you at home. That's why I came back to Memphis. That's how you grow, right from home, from the roots, and then you blossom.
In some ways, the cobblestone kind of represent Memphis. They kind of represent a working class, grit and grind mentality. They also represent some dark days. The cotton industry ruled, and slave labor was used on those very cobblestones. It helped build Memphis into a port city. But I think what's good about Memphis is we recognize our dark history and we try to use that to inspire us to do even better.
I think everybody all over the country should come to Memphis. And you'll learn everything about history, how the garbage men came up and what they did for the city. The Memphis March with Martin Luther King, how we did the march and how we discovered did anything we got. I might be get dead and gone, but here, Martin Luther King still dream on. That's my work. I've been working ever since, so I'm getting to be an old man. I'm 86, but I still try to be healthy, work out, go to job, work every night. So I'm doing pretty good so far. Memphis could be a better city if people get together.
Like Sam Cooke said, change gonna come. We're gonna grow. And I just say send good vibes and love, that's it.
Memphis is a city that doesn't give up. As you look down at the cobblestones at your feet and you see the wear and tear, that you'll also see in that the beauty of Memphis, and creates a platform just like these cobblestones for us to think about the future in new ways and come together in new ways.
I mean, a rock is a rock, and you can do 1,000 things with that. You can throw it to somebody, or you can use it to build a step for the person to move to the next level. And I hope that more people are looking at these rocks and these stones as stepping stones for the whole community to move up.
And that's really Memphis, whether it's music, whether it's art, whether it's food, or whether it's just dealing with the people. Everything is just so soulful and just so amazing. And I don't know, it's so odd. You all made me think about the rocks and different things. And I thought about like a Bible verse where they said, as far as a witness, if the people don't witness, then the rocks will cry out in the name, which is something, again, kind of tapping in that spirituality of Memphis. And just everything is soulful here, even the dirt. It's in the dirt, it's in the water, and in the rocks as well. You know, they cry out and witness as far as the soulful air of the city.